I greet you all my viewers. I welcome you to this wonderful opportunity that God has given us to learn mathematics. I am your host in person of Mr. Felix Dominic. I'm going to be teaching you mathematics. I'll do my best to break down this mathematics for you. I'll break it down to atomic level. That is to say, you are going to understand the in and out of it. I can assure you that mathematics will become the easiest subject you will ever know. Okay, now we are going to be having classes ranging from SS3 down to JSS1. Make sure you join the class that fits you. That is the class you are going to. The next class you are going to, that's the class you are going to join. And then follow everything that we are going to be doing. The question is going to be displayed on the screen. Ensure that you analyze the question along with me. This is how you will do it. You pause the question. Once you pause it, have your exercise book with you and a pen. Copy out the question. Ensure you copy out the question, then you play on. As you play on, I am going to be analyzing the questions and I'm going to be solving it. And as I'm solving it, I'll be communicating with you. I'll be telling you, are you following me? Hope you are getting it. And just be resonating along with me. Be answering me wherever you are. That is how we are going to take this journey bit by bit till we get to our final answer. I'm still assuring you, follow along with me. Take everything we are going to be doing with all seriousness. At the end of every subtopic, there is going to be an assignment for you. The assignment is for you to practice. Make sure you do it. Please don't just look at this video like a mere coincidence. It is not. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine arrangement from God. There are so many who wish to have this type of privilege. So whatsoever your hand findeth doing, do it with all your might. Have your pen with you, have your book, copy out the questions, do your assignments. For every assignment, by the side of every assignment, there is answers, the correct answers. I took my time to copy out the questions for the assignment and also the answers. You will see an arrow pointing at the answers. By the time you finish solving your assignments, then you check, you compare your answers with the answers. If they are correct, good and fine. Anyone that you get it wrong, give me a feedback. You can give me a feedback through my phone number. And my phone number will always be there on the screen. Give me a feedback through WhatsApp. Snap your work, send it to me on WhatsApp through my WhatsApp number. From there, I could even find time to do the correction for you, snap it and resend it back to you. My whole aim is for each one of you to make distinction in mathematics and nothing else but distinction. In fact, that is the name of this channel, FEUNIX Distinction. Everyone here is going to share a testimony. It's going to be a very wonderful moment. Thank you, my viewers. Do well to join your classes and let's move on. Thank you and remain blessed. Right, good day, viewers. We are moving straight into our lesson 2 for this very class, that is SS2 Mathematics. SS2 Mathematics. SS2 Maths. In this lesson 2, we are going to be discussing on logarithms. We are going to be discussing on logarithms of numbers. In logarithms of numbers, we have logarithms of numbers greater than 1 and logarithms of numbers less than 1. We will take them step by step. So we're starting with logarithms of numbers greater than 1. Logarithms of numbers greater than 1. Example 1. We are to calculate 76.7 times 308.2 all over 8.04. What we have here is logarithm of numbers greater than 1. And then the question before us is to multiply 76.7 and 308.2. After that, we divide it by 8.04. So there is a multiplication of logarithms here, and there is division of logarithms here. So basically what we'll be looking at today is multiplication of logarithms and division of logarithms. Whenever you are multiplying logarithms, there is a law for that, and whenever you are dividing logarithms. And this is the law. In multiplication of logarithms, we will do addition. At the time we find a logarithm, we will do addition if it is multiplication. And if it is division, we will do subtraction. So what this implies is that the logarithms of these two numerators, we are going to add them because it's multiplication that is in between them. We'll find the logarithm of 76.7 and we'll find the logarithm of 308.2, and we'll add the two logarithms. Whatsoever we get, we will now find the logarithm of 8.04, that is this very denominator. Whatsoever we get in the numerator, we will subtract it to the logarithm of the denominator. Why are we going to subtract? Because it's division. So that's the law. The law of logarithm that has to do with multiplication and division is: in multiplication we add, in division we subtract. Basically, that is what we are going to be doing in this second lesson. Before we continue, I would like to make a little recap of what we learned in our last class. What we learned in the last class is standard form. Standard form have a very peculiar role to play in this topic. We must express numbers in standard form if only we are to calculate the logarithm correctly. So in the last class we said if we have numbers like 4, 2, 3.89, if we are to express this in standard form, what did we say? We said this is a large number, and if we are expressing this, we'll definitely move the decimal so that the decimal will come before the first significant figure. And what do we say is the first significant figure? This is the first significant figure, 4. So we are going to move this decimal 1, 2, so that the decimal will come before the first significant figure. So the number of times we move the decimal plays a very key role. So this number in standard form, our answer will be what? Our answer will be 4.2389 times 10 raised to the power of 2. Now, what's the point we are trying to make here? This 2 that we obtain is very important for us in this topic, logarithm. Now, let's go straight into the application. We have done a little recap of standard form. We are going to see how it's going to be applied here. Let's solve the problem that we have before us. The problem that is before us is 76.7 times 308.2 divided by 8.04. Step 1, I'm going to draw two lines, one horizontally and the other one vertically. This is what I'm going to do. So this side will be for my number and this side will be for my logarithm. This is where I'm going to do it. So what's the first number there? The first number there is 76.7. 76.7. And what's the second number there? 308.2. 308.2. Let me work on these numbers. Now this is the working. The first thing we are to do is to get what we call the integer. What is this integer? The integer is the very number that we usually find in our standard form, just like these two that we have when we're expressing this number in standard form. These two will now serve as our integer, the number of times we move the decimal in order to make it in a standard form. That's our integer. So in this very question now, what will now be our integer? Our integer will be 1, and when you write the 1, you put a dot. Why is it 1? Because to make this number in standard form, definitely we are going to move this decimal only once for it to be before the first significant figure. Yes, it's going to move once, just like we did when we were doing it in standard form. That is why we have 1. Based on what I just said, what is going to be the integer for this number? The integer is going to be 2, because we are to move this decimal 2 times for it to fall before the first significant figure. So look at it, 2, you put your point. Let me return back to the first question, 76.7. Now, after we have put the integer, we are going to put the remaining part of the logarithm, and the remaining part is called the mantissa. That is where we are going to use 4-figure table. It's expected of every student in SS2 to be familiar with the 4-figure table, because this topic is a topic that have been treated in SS1. This is a recap of SS1 logarithm. So I will encourage you to do well to pause this video at this point, look for your 4-figure table and check it along with me. Just the way we usually do it in SS1, that's the same way you are going to do it now. So go to your 4-figure table and check the number. Once you open your textbook, you will go towards the back page. You will see your 4-figure table there. There is a 4-figure table that has been provided there. So the first side of it is logarithms of numbers. Under logarithm of number, you check this number. You check 76 under 7. You check 76 under 7. If you check it correctly, you are going to obtain this number 8848. You are going to have 8848. If you did not get this number, then you are still struggling with checking of 4-figure table. And at that point, feel free to relate to me. That's the essence of giving out my phone number. You let me know that you have issues with checking 4-figure table, and I'm going to do a video on that specifically for you. Now, after we have written the mantissa, this is the mantissa, this is the integer part of it. After we have written this, we go to the next one. Coming to the second one, we are to check. We have already done the integer. The integer part of it is 2, because the decimal will move 2 times for it to be in a standard form. Then the next thing is to check the mantissa. We are going to check 30 under 8 and difference of 2. 30 under 8, difference of 2. If you check 30 under 8, you check 30 under 8, you are going to get 4886. You will get 4886. Yes, 30 under 8 will give you 4886 from your 4-figure table, logarithms of number, the first page. Now, after that, you check difference of 2. The difference table, that is, you go down the difference table under 2, check that same line. That same line with 30, you check it, you see that the difference will be 3. You obtain a difference of 3. What you have to do is to plus that difference. You plus the difference, then you have gotten the mantissa. So let's do the plussing. 6 plus 3, 9. And this is your 8. This is your 8. And this is your 4. So that is 4, 8, 8, 9. By the time you have obtained these numbers, you move to the next step. And what's the next step? The next step is addition. Why addition? Because the two numbers are multiplying. Remember, two numbers are multiplying. We say the law is that if you are multiplying you add. If you are dividing, you subtract. So therefore, we are adding these numbers because we are multiplying. Let's do the addition now. In the addition, we are going to be having 8 plus 9, 17, write down 7, carry 1. 8 plus 4, 12, plus 1, 13, write down 3, carry 1. 8 plus 8, 16, plus 1, 17, write down 7, carry 1. 8 plus 4, 12, plus 1, 13, write down 3, carry 1. And then this is our decimal point. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. This is what we have gotten. Then we'll now move to the next step. The next step is for us to check for the next number, and that is 8.04. 8.04 logarithm. Now the first thing is to check for the integer, that is expressing the number in standard form. This number is already in standard form because the decimal is already after is before this first significant figure. It's already in standard form, so the decimal will not move at all. So therefore the integer is 0 and put point. Why is it 0? Because it's not moving at all, and that's why we write 0 and we put our point. Step 2, we'll go on to check for the mantissa. And what are we going to check? We'll check 80 under 4. Check 80 under 4. We check 80 under 4, we are going to be having 9053. 9053. And as we have gotten 9053, then we are going to do our subtraction. Why are we going to do subtraction? Because it's division. I've already said it earlier. I've said it earlier that whenever you have division, you subtract. Whenever you have multiplication, you add. So since we have division, what we are going to do is to subtract. So let's subtract these numbers. Let's do our subtraction. 7 minus 3 will give us 4. 3 minus 5, we cannot borrow 1 from 7 to give it, it becomes 13. 13 minus 5 will give us 8. And then this number have become 6. 6 minus 0 is 6. Then 3 minus 9, cannot borrow 1 from 4. Add it to 3, it becomes 13. 13 minus 9 will give us 4. And then this is your decimal. These 4 now have become 3 because it has borrowed out to the other one. And so 3 minus 0 is 3. And at this point, we're almost getting to our final answer. At this point, we are going to find the anti-logarithm. That's the next table after logarithm. So if you open a page after the page for logarithm, you'll see the anti-log table there. So for the anti-log table, what are we going to check? We are going to check these numbers here. Is these numbers, not the integer. These numbers. So we'll check 0.46 under 8. We'll check 0.46 under 8. Difference of 4. 0.46 under 8. Difference of 4. If we check 0.46 under 8, we will get 2938. 2938. When we check difference of 4, we will get 3. Then we'll add up the difference. Let's add up this difference. We're going to be getting 8 plus 3, 11, 1, carry 1. Add the 1 with this 3, it becomes 4. And this is your 9, and this is your 2. That gives us 2941. 2941. Then lastly, we'll now make use of the integer. This 3 that you are seeing here, this very 3 that is here, it will help us to place our point. Now, this is the rule. By assumption, the point is already before the first significant figure. You will assume that the point is in the standard form. Since this 2 is the first significant figure, the point is already here. Point is already here. Just like we usually move point to be here. So you assume the point is here. So if you have 3 here, you move the point 3 times. Let's move it 1, 2, 3. You move it 3 times, the point will be here now. So finally, the answer will be 2941.0. That's our final answer. We have obtained our final answer. Thank you, viewers. We are going to solve more examples on this. So you have to be patient as we solve more examples for better understanding. Example 2. Calculate four, 6, 2, 7 divided by 81.5. Let's solve this question. The first thing, we draw our lines. We have our number, we have our log. What's the first number? 4627. And what's the second number? 81.5. What's the first thing we do here? We'll get our integer. The integer is the number of times you move your decimal to fall before the first significant figure. And how many times are we going to move this decimal? We'll move it 3 times. If the decimal is not written, I've said it earlier, the decimal is at the extreme end, that it is somewhere here. If it's not written, it's at the end. So moving it, we move it 1, 2, 3. So therefore our integer is 3. You put your point. Then the next thing is to check 46 under 2, difference of 7. 46 under 2, difference of 7. 46 under 2 will give us 6646. To give us 6646. And then difference of 7 will give us 7. So if I'm to add up with the difference, what we'll be obtaining is 6 plus 7, 13, write down 3, carry 1. Plus the 1 with this 4, it becomes 5. And then here is our 6.3. So I need to clean everything and write it so that everything will look neat. So therefore, we will now be having here with us, we're going to be having 3.6653 because I've added up with the difference. Let's go to the second one. What will be our integer here? Our integer will be 1, because you have to move this decimal only once for it to fall before the first significant figure. That is why it's 1. And the second thing is to check 81 under 5. 81 under 5 will give us 9112. 9112. Then you draw your line. After drawing this line, what are we going to do? Addition or subtraction? We will do subtraction. Why are we doing subtraction? Because it is division. I've said it earlier. If it is division, you will subtract. If it is addition, if it is multiplication, you will add. So let's do our subtraction. 3 minus 2, 1. 5 minus 1, 4. 6 minus 1, 5. 6 minus 5. Cannot you borrow 1 from 3? Add it to 6. It becomes 16 minus 5. 16 minus 9, 7. And what's remaining here is 2, because we have borrowed out 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So to obtain our final answer, we are going to check our anti-log table. We have to check our anti-log table and we can express it here. But what are we going to check? We will check 0.75 under 4. 0.75 under 4. Difference of 1. 0.75 under 4 will give us 5675. 5675. And when we check difference of 1, we will have 1. So we'll add up the difference. Adding up the difference, we'll be having 6 here, 7, 6, and 5. Then we'll come and write it. This is our 5, 6, 7, 6. Remaining placing the point. Since the number here is 1, then we are moving only once. And I've said it earlier, and I want to say it again. Some students usually make mistakes at this point, and I don't want you to make mistakes, so I'm saying it over and over. First of all, you will assume the point is already at the standard place, where we usually move it to be at standard form. That is, the point is before the first significant figure. And where is that very place? That is here. This is where points usually be for it to be standard. And if the number here is 1, then you move the point once to the right direction. So if you move it once, it will be here now. So therefore our final answer will be 56.76. That's our final answer. Thank you for your patience. This topic is so long, but it worth it. So at this point, I'm going to leave you with some questions to practice as an assignment. I will give you just a few questions for you to solve for me. Here's the assignment. Use tables to calculate the following. Question number 1. 29.3 times 142. Your work is correct and your answer is to 3 significant figures. Please, I want these answers to be in 3 significant figures. If you leave your answer in 3 significant figures, your final answer will give you 4160. Question number 2. Find the logarithm of 31.6 divided by 4.79. If you do this work well, you will be having 6.60. Question number 3. We have to find the logarithm of 4627 divided by 81.5. The 3 significant figure, your answer will give you 56.8. 56.8. Question number 4. We have to find the logarithm of 193 times 279. Your work is correct. Your answer will be 53800. And the last question, question number 5, you have to find the logarithm of 45.6 times 40.9, and your answer will be 1870 to 3 significant figures. Thank you for your patience. This is a very long video, but it worth it. This topic, we need to follow it gradually, and we have come to the end of it. I will still encourage you to press the subscription button. Subscribe to this channel so that when I release the next video, you are going to be notified. Thank you and have a great day.